set. All right, hold on. There we go, live, the MLK Alumni All-Star Podcast. Say, K Boogie, what's going on?
What's up, everybody? What's up, man? Another, this is what, season, I guess this is season 2, episode 1 of the MLK Alumni Podcast. Alumni All-Star Podcast. I apologize. I am just one half of the crew. My other half, my man, to the bottom of your screen would be Rhonda Barbara Murray, founder and owner of the Pennsylvania Barber School. And also we have a special guest. I'm not going to call her really a guest because, she's been family with us since 1991, I'm going to say. When we were still wearing jean shirts and sky pagers and stuff like that, just give her like a warm welcome to your friend and mine, our VP of the of 95 alumni. We have the great Atwana. Give me your last, because I'm going to butcher it. I'm going to butcher it. It's Atwana Harris Smiley, correct?
Atwana Smalley Harris, yes.
Smalley Harris. There it is. Smalley Harris. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Atwana Smalley Harris. How have you been?
I'm great, fellas. Thank you for having me. I appreciate being included into the podcast. I'm looking forward to busting it up and, keeping us full of life and making sure we bring that same energy back to the table. And thank you for having me.
Oh, you're quite welcome. My pleasure. I haven't been doing much. I've just been, pretty much staying out the way. But also, let me see how my man Ron is doing. Ron, are you still there with us, sir?
Oh man, listen, man, I'm in the car, baby.
Oh,
I'm still in the ride.
You're in the car, literally,
I'm still in the ride.
Oh, all right, solid. Okay, cool. But what's been going on with you, man? But we haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on with
you? First and foremost, man, I really want to apologize. Because we should have been on the podcast tip, but we've both been just grinding, getting things done, and just staying in my lane, man. Staying in my lane and teaching and put one foot in front of the other. That's what I mean. But more importantly, I'm hyped that this is season 2, episode 1, MLK Alumni All-Star Podcast. We got our vice president, Atwana Harris Smiley, in the building. Kate Boogie, we back, man. So we're just coming today to let the alumni know about the things going on, Kay. And again, like I said, we could have been doing this, but we just stepped back for a minute to get some other things done. You know what I mean? And now it's like go full force.
No, that's okay. Because when it comes to the reason why we've been gone for so long, it's not because we've been just we don't feel like doing it. It's just a simple fact that I'm going to be honest with you. One of the real reasons why that we haven't been doing it, I'm going to tell you why. Because the boy down there, the boy Ron Murray, he's been making moves and just making what was the name of that? What's the name of that movie? What was it? Fresh. You remember Fresh? That movie?
Yes.
Making adult moves, right? Ron's been making moves, man, and he's been really making some really great moves in regards, for the school, in regards to the community, and just all around the city of Philadelphia. But we're gonna get into that. Ron will touch on that a little bit later down the road in the podcast. Me and myself, I've been pretty much busy with, just podcasting and producing and writing little stories here and there and transcribing and stuff like that. So even during the pandemic, I think I was a little bit more busier during the pandemic than I am now, because all the work was just coming, to us and Heavy.com and Scoopy Radio and Valley Sports and Bovada. So it was like so many different things that we could do. We took advantage of. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing, and that's pretty much it.
Well, let me ask you this, Brother K. You talking about transcribing. A lot of people don't know what that is. Just like I said, I didn't want to throw you up under the bus, but tell us a little bit what it is that you really do, because see, I know what it is you do. And I know some of the great experiences you get to experience with some NFL stars, the NBA stars. So just tell the people a little bit what transcribing, and tell them it is what you do.
I mean, well, transcribing is not really that big of a deal. I don't want to toot my own horn, but it has like it has its pros and cons. But basically when you transcribe, usually you get the interview, you either like type it or write it, and you would send that to your editor or your producer, and that goes up on, sometimes it goes up with different shows, it goes up on different, sports media websites. Like, for example, let's say we're doing an interview with us three, and we're talking about, like, you might bring some news in about maybe Ben Simmons or something like that. Oh, really? Ben Simmons, this and that, da-da-da. Like, okay, all right, type that up, send it over to like, Media Sports Hype or CBS Sports Wire or ESPN or, Clutch Points or whatever the case may be. Sports Illustrated is another one. And they usually take that bit, and they, and they process it and they put it, on their website, for people to read. And then the more hits that you get.
Let me say this, bro. I know some of the superstars that you've been interviewing. So like some of the juicy stuff, who's some of the people you've interviewed?
I mean, I wouldn't say like superstars or anything like that, but I mean, we've had our share of, WWE wrestlers. We had our share of basketball players, football players, a couple MMA people, women too. MMA, women fighters, MMA, UCF, male fighters. Let's see, a couple coaches.
Did you get anybody?
Everybody, like, really, rappers.
Did you get anybody like Ben Simmons?
We wouldn't know what it is, because sometimes, like, Ben Simmons is so hard to get. We wouldn't get Ben Simmons, but we could get Tobias Harris.
Okay.
Like, we might not get, and that's what I love about that, because you might not get the star, but you'll get the person who played with the star who has the insight. Like, you might not get a Twana, but you might get a Twana's teammate who played with a Twana, who can give you all the, not even the juicy gossip. It's just more of just like, well, what was a Twana like? And what type of level was she on and stuff like that, So but it's real dope. I don't want to like keep going into it because I'm gonna bore you guys.
No, man, that's cool, man. I just like
it's a good place to be, man. Shout out to Scoopy Radio and
man. It takes what you do takes you have to be very intelligent. You know what I mean? And
okay, I'll take that.
Listen, man, I'm proud to say, hey, that's something that I don't know, man. You might could start a workshop with the youth. That's something you can start a program with. That's there's something that
communication,
I think is very, very constructive and profitable. But more importantly, we on the show tonight. We were just all talking about what we've been up to. Twana, what you been up to, Twana?
Good evening, fellas. I've been up to the same busy things that I have been. I just passed state inspections. I've been trying to stay COVID free and keep our seniors COVID free in my line of work. And I'm actually considering a move. I'm considering moving across the country to do some things and possibly expand our MLK brand, as well as expanding my catering and one-stop culture stop business. So I just have my hands full. I got a lot of things on the plate, and I'm looking forward to the future.
So what kind of work you do, Twana? Let the people, the alumni know.
Okay, I've been a food service director, a certified dietary manager for the past 12 years. I've been in the field for the past 20. I run facilities across the city and basically across the state, and with different food programs and different dietary programs in place. I'm working on being a district manager to my company, and it's been pretty good to me.
That's good.
It's been rewarding.
No, that's good because that's just something in the future that we could do a program. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It just kind of leads to why we even do the things we do for MLK students.
Absolutely.
as,
To help
as
our seniors is very gratifying.
that's
Um,
definitely.
for those who have seniors in your lives and things of that nature, it's important that we take care of them. Those who've taken care of us.
No doubt, no doubt. So K Boogie, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back over to you, man. Let you be the host with the most. You know what I mean?
Okay, I appreciate that again. Now first I want to touch on this first scholarship. This was, courtesy of our VP, Atwana. And basically, if you don't know this teacher, then you didn't go to King and your education at King was trash. This guy just personifies what a great teacher is all about. A teacher that's caring, a teacher that's intelligent, articulate, and an all just role model. And the teacher that I'm talking about is actually, was he Dr. Ronald Cage or Mr. Ronald Cage? Because I think he got his doctorate and stuff like that, but Ron Cage. And basically, for those who don't know who Ron Cage is, first he was a teacher. I remember he taught world cultures. And then eventually he went up the ladder and became a principal, if I'm not mistaken, right? Did he become a principal? By the time we became seniors, I didn't see him in the classroom anymore. I saw him downstairs, in the office and stuff like that. So, this scholarship is going to be named after Ron Cage. And, Atwana, I'm sure you can have a little insight on, what this scholarship means to MLK, and also what Mr. Cage meant to all of us, and including yourself as well.
Absolutely. Mr. Cage was definitely a role model, not only to me, but I'm pretty sure to our entire law charter class and many more, as far as I know. He was definitely an uplifter. He made you not only feel like that you were just a student, but he made you feel like a young adult. He prepared us to become young adults, and he treated us with respect, and he talked with us with respect, and encouraged us to talk with respect with one another. I believe the way he carried himself and the way he encouraged us to carry ourselves, far as dress, even down to the way that we called our names, was very influential to me in my life. There would be plenty of times that Mr. Cage would talk to me after school, before school. I even got calls from Mr. Cage at home. So I remember just talking to him, even going through things, you go up in your life and you go through teenage and growing pains. Mr. Cage was definitely there. And I remember him and talking with my mother about several incidents that were very important, and as well as others in our classes. And he just was a great role model, a great Black man as a role model. And we didn't have many Black role model teachers within our community. And I really appreciated him. And I'm pretty sure that so many others, countless others, have stories and just endless amount of situations that we pay homage to him in this scholarship, because not only did he identify, he was the epitome of some of the culture there in MLK, but he inspired us all to do better, as Black people. He taught us about the world. And I feel that this scholarship would definitely, the person that would reflect on being who he would be an all-around exempt student with a good cultural, a good attitude in his school and around his community. And I'm very grateful for that.
Hear that? Yeah, definitely. Because we all have different experiences and, our run-ins with Mr. Cage. Like I said, we had Mr. Cage. We had the privilege of having Mr. Cage in ninth grade, as a matter of fact. Right after right after advisory, as a matter of fact, if I remember correctly. If I can find my old school roster, which is probably at the bottom of some barrel somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was just I don't know, to be honest with you, it was actually just a joy to have his class. First I really didn't like his class because I was like, it's kind of boring. But then once we got the World Cultures book, but what Mr. Cage did, he used to use stuff from the book, but then teach out. He didn't even use the book to teach. Most of the time, he was teaching about different cultures, different religions, different, he gave us what's the word? He actually gave us a quick look in of anthropology. To be honest with you, I mean, learning about different cultures, how they work, how they mesh with with today's world and stuff like that. And after a while, I really enjoyed it. First of all, because all the girls came to class, so I was there, and yeah, I was in there.
Mr. Cage kept you interested for sure.
It
for
did.
sure.
He
stroked your mind.
What as we talking about Mr. Cage, I remember sitting with Earl Pugh, our treasurer, and Earl couldn't be on with us tonight. But I remember we were saying, we want to do another scholarship. And I said, Earl, we need to put this on the Twana. He said, you know what? Then do it. So I hit a Twana up and I'm like, Twana, we need a new scholarship. You got to pick it. Twana came back. She said, I'm ready. She said to Ron Cage. And I said, hands down. And who Ron Cage was to me, because everybody had different versions. For me growing up, I grew up in, which most people probably don't know, is I grew up in private and Catholic school. So most of my teachers were mainly white my whole life. So Mr. Cage was like the first Black man that I had as a teacher. And he would come every day with his bow tie and his tie, and and I thought he was some kind of goofy guy, but not. I found out he was the man. He was the man, and then he was so thorough that he would talk to you and would kind of let you know that, hey, you're intelligent. If you thought less of yourself, he will remind you in a small way, don't think like that, to think like this. And it'd be several times I see Mr. Cage in the hallway, and he might give me a pound, or he'll give me that look, like, you know what time it is. Don't be a nut. You know what I mean? So to name this scholarship after Mr. Cage is wonderful. The total amount is $500 that we're going to give to this year's senior class at Martin Luther King High School. We haven't picked the recipient yet, but the requirements are basically, I'm gonna let Twana. This is your project. You made it happen, so I'm gonna let you speak a little bit about the scholarship, Twana, about the requirements, and even with these requirements, they're all not educational. Some of them are value. So I'm gonna let you talk about it.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Like Ron said, we're looking for the student that exemplifies culture, that exemplifies a B average at least in his class to maintain. And we're looking for someone that is proud and very proud of Martin Luther King High School. Right. We're looking for someone I believe truly would be a good fit for that's humble. And that's for sure. And Mr. Cage was definitely humble, and he definitely taught us all to be humble, but at the same time, be confident. So we're looking for that confident student with the B average, and we're looking to give them $500 towards their college experience of their choice or educational piece of their choice. And we're excited to do it in the name of MLK, class in 1995.
95, big.
We really look forward, and we're really super excited to open up doors and look forward, and one day possibly even have our whole community involved in what we're doing here. What we're doing here is a mission for our community, by our community, because we are our community. We all still live here. We all still have the right. We've all had that encouragement especially from Mr. Cage to give us the tools and the strength to come out here in the world and be confident and to lift each other up. I feel like that's all that he was about. He definitely always lift us up. So us lifting each other up and scholarship wise and community wise is definitely a God sent to us. And I just want to give my team a hands up for what we've been doing and what we've put together. I want to give a shout out to you, definitely, Ron, for encouraging us and keeping us foot forward in this struggle of community progress. And I really appreciate that. KC for helping us announce that and put it into words, and get us forward. For Earl for definitely keeping us on point with strength and financially and all of those things. Like, so we wouldn't be doing this scholarship wouldn't be anything without us guys and Mr. Cage. And I appreciate you, gentlemen.
Definitely, Atwana. I thank you for sharing. And we've already given out a scholarship. Last year to Shane Carter, we gave him a $500 scholarship. And that was in the name of the class of 1995. And Shane is at the barber school. Shane's going to community. He's learning how to be grown. He's up here from Baltimore, and he didn't know what direction he was going to go in life. When he got that $500 scholarship from the class of 95, he said, I'm staying in Philly. He said, I'm going to stay in Philly. And that young man, guess what? Trial and error. He's doing it. He's going to community. He's working. He's at the barber school. And I know that besides us just giving them a monetary blessing, us being involved with them, I think back and say, I might have missed the mark when I graduated in 95, that I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a direction to go. And that's just how some of us were. Some people knew they were going to college. Man, I'm going to keep it being. It's a nice percentage of us that went to the penitentiary. They went to the streets. And when I see some of my classmates, that may be going through things or maybe struggling, I always let them know, yo, bro, you could turn this around. You can listen. You went to King, right? So if you went to King, if you made it through King, you can make it through life, because that was the beginning phase of life. And just before I even go off the topic, we're going to talk about our Coach Stewart scholarship, which is real special. I'm gonna let my man K Boogie, KC. You want to tell him a little bit about the Coach
you
Stewart?
can. You know what, man? Because you're doing a great job.
You know what, bro? We got so much to share. I don't know
if you've been taking like communication classes or broadcasting classes or something
like
that. Because you're like segueing stuff in like boom. Coach Stewart, Ryan Cage, Barber Academy. Like you're just running that stuff all the way in. But
well, I'm gonna keep it being with you, man. I'm gonna keep it being with you. Can I keep it being with you, bro?
Go ahead.
I get it from you.
No.
I get it from you, bro.
Sometimes you know what? Some things
3 times a week.
Some things are just natural, man. You're a natural, dude. Like you're a natural speaker. And I've been waiting. No, seriously, you're like a natural speaker, man. Like if you ever see Ron get up and like talk about something that he's very passionate about, like he doesn't stutter, he doesn't hiccup, he doesn't say he doesn't say anything. He just goes right in. Like it's a beautiful thing to watch. I'm telling you, man. It's a beautiful thing to watch when he starts like teaching. I'm telling you, go ahead, man. He goes in beast mode sometimes.
I appreciate the accolades and all that, but listen, can you put him D? Well, who we linked up with the Coach Stewart this year? Like, you got to tell me.
Well, with the Coach Stewart scholarship, we had the privilege and honor to, honor Shane. And let me tell you something.
No, this year.
Oh, who was our recipient this year?
So you must have forgot. And this was
I did. I had it written down, but
hold on. No, this was Atwana's idea. This year's Coach Stewart scholarship. It goes to the Martin Luther King football team.
Oh yeah, right. That's correct.
And that was Atwana. Atwana was like, "Yo, we need to do something for the football team."
For the football team, yeah.
And I think we linked up and meet up with. We had a Zoom with Coach Malik.
Coach Malik, yeah.
Yeah, and he picked the players. So this year we'll be honoring one of the football players with the Coach Stewart scholarship, a $500 donation. Yeah. And that will be from the MLK Alumni class of 1995. We want to encourage all the alumni to help us. And if you want to participate and you want to donate, all that stuff will be available soon. But for the most part, we're going to make sure it happens regardless. We're going to make sure they get those funds, even if we got to give it to them ourselves.
I hear that.
But the most important thing is this year, the alumni of 95, we're giving out 2 scholarships. We're giving out 2 scholarships. We're giving out the Ryan Cage scholarship, and we're giving out the Coach Stewart scholarship. Yes. So just stay tuned. And just, if you want to be a part of this, if you want to know information on how to help, on how you can help, just reach out to us, inbox us. We're going to be doing more things like fish fries and cookouts at the barber school, and just to kind of raise funds for the scholarship, and more importantly, bring our community back together. I mean, not everybody was best friends back in high school, but guess what? I didn't go to school with no enemies. So, you know what I mean? If you went to King and you was in 95, 96, come on out. It's nothing but love from us, because at the end of the day, it's Cougar Nation. You know what I mean?
It is, man.
That's right. Go ahead, you the maestro, baby.
No, you know what it is, Coach, because you touch on it again. Like I said, man, I don't know if you've been in broadcasting class or something like that. You segue stuff in, because it's really awesome, because like I've seen people like different ties. We all came together like from King, because a lot of the guys now, they have sons, and most of the sons they'll play basketball. They might play basketball at certain schools, and I'll see them at the games, and we'll just chop it up and everything like that. And they'll talk about the stuff that they're doing, and like they'll talk about, we saw you on the podcast. Ryan, I saw you being around on the podcast. What's he do? He got a barber school? Like, no, he has a barber academy. And and I tell him like what's it about. I tell him he teaches like barbers, how to be licensed, and they go to Harrisburg to get trained, all that good stuff. And then also too, other guys have like barbershops. Shout out to Reds. Larry has his podcast, and everybody's starting to like come together. Like, listen, like I said, like here's a preview. Here's a preview for the another preview coming up soon in the MLK Alumni Podcast. We might have a couple other barbers on this thing. Keith, we're gonna call you, so get ready. Don't act surprised when we call you. Don't act surprised when we call you. So, but I just love everybody just coming together and just teaching the youth too on how to like have your own business. How to have your own business legitimately without getting it shut down. And which brings me to our third topic of the night. The Barber Academy of MLK. Now, recently, Ron got a chance to actually go back to his old stomping grounds up at good old MLK. And I just want to know that my question to you, Ron, is basically, that's why you off the chain. My question to you, Ron, is first, what did it take to have that project greenlit? And how did it feel once you step foot back in there to start teaching classes as a teacher yourself? The floor is yours. So, go ahead and dance.
So thank you, sir. Perfect intro. We thank you for the props. The MLK Barber Academy. I got to give all glory to God. Like, it had nothing to do with me. I have to really thank also Miss Kim Cat. Miss Kim, who's alumni president. Me and her been talking about this, doing a barber program for the students, for the mere fact that funding has been cut for them, and they get less and less programs and things. And I sit back and say, when we were going, I didn't take advantage of those programs and chess clubs and different things that we had back then. But I'm like, I don't even think they have none of that, barely any of that stuff now. And if they do, it has to be someone coming from the outside volunteering. So being as though I know that I'm in position to certify people to give them their barber license, you have to be a minimum age of 16 years old to get a barber license. So I said to myself, that fits perfect with high school students. So twice a week, I do free haircuts on the 3rd floor. They gave me Mr. Washington's old room, 346T, which is at the end of the hallway. And Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm doing free haircuts. And I actually get to hang a barber sign outside in the hallway with lights and everything. So as the students are going to class, the door says barbershop open. And walking through that hallway, I say, could you imagine if we had a barbershop or a beauty salon when we was in King? Like that would be the spot. So, every time I walk through that hallway, it's nothing but memories. Nothing but memories. But I'm definitely blessed. And I found a way to be able to allow the students that if they're interested, they can come to my school on the weekends and get their, start doing a little bit more training. And like for me, it's a fulfilling pleasure to know that, hey, I'm doing something to help not just myself, but the community. I mean, I went to King. When I walked out of King in 95, if you would have told me that I was going to be a barber school owner one day, I wouldn't have never believed you. And that's how I feel some of these kids are. They're not motivated to believe in themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's only because of the lack of resources. So definitely shout out to Ms. Kim. Shout out to Ms. Wilkins, the principal of King, who even allowed the program. All the teachers who supported. During the COVID, I did not want to lose the program. And what that meant was they were shutting schools down. So thank God for Zoom that I took all my theory classes and it's all virtual. So all my teaching now is virtual, even with my regular students. And one of the teachers asked me, could I Zoom in during her class period? So shout out to Miss Carla Catalupo. So sometimes she will allow me to Zoom into her class and teach a class. And I'm saying sometimes the students need something a little different. Not everybody going to college. Some of these students need to do hands-on training because me being a Black man, a business owner in the community, I can honestly say that if they're not going to college or if they're not going to some kind of trade, man, they headed to prison because there's nothing else left for them to do but to get in trouble. So I know that I can't save the world, and that's Jesus' job. So what I just try to do is a little bit. And I'm like so grateful to be able to be in King. And like Miss Kim said, Miss Kim named it. She said, this is the MLK Barber Academy. You know what I mean? So shout out to Miss Kim. And, I plan on like getting other barbers involved, like Reds from up Wadsworth, Keith, my man Toot the Barber. He was King alumni. Me and Toot graduated from Tri-City. And it's a couple other barbers that went to King, So as time go on, I'm hoping to invite them in and try to expand this program where the students will actually, by the time they graduate, they'll have a barber license.
And a diploma.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I like
they need
that.
you, brother. Our kids need to see. They need to see us. They need to see us in action, in full-fledged action, and making moves in the community. And what more does it look than to see a young Black man or a Black male doing it? We're so counted out for a lot of things. And in spite of what's going on with the violence with a lot of our young men and women, this is a tool that can uplift our community. We are the culture. We set the trends. It's definitely a handful, and I commend you for that, Ron and KC. I really do.
And you know what? If there's any alumni out there, I think they started a auto body shop after school. So if you own a business or you have a trade and you alumni, you need to get with Miss Kim or get with me. And if some people is all about getting money, some people all about getting checks. This is a volunteer program. You know what I mean? Basically, if you like to give back and you want to do some kind of teaching or some kind of workshops, get with Ms. Kim, get with one of us, let us know, because if you're alumni, they're offering that opportunity to us. So like with Kay, you and your transcribing, Twana, you in the dietary field, you know what I mean? I know it's countless people that you have put on to jobs in different situations. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need to vote before we allow you and Mike to move. I don't know if you could just move like that. We the committee got to vote on that, all right? So
we'll always be around. We'll always be around.
I know, cuz when you said that, I just meant to let you know I ain't let it slip. but more or less, you know what I mean, we out here and we just trying to make where we came from a little better.
Most definitely. Yeah. And our, that leads us to our, to our final topic for the evening. Now, usually when you're giving out scholarships, sometimes you have to give money. You have to give money to give money, to get money, to give money more, to give more money. So basically, what Ryan's going to do right now, he's going to touch on a little something what's called like nonprofit, because you hear that term being thrown around a lot. Like, oh yeah, I got a nonprofit, or yeah, I have this pop-up shop, yeah, it's nonprofit, or I have this charity, it's nonprofit. And most of the time it's not really nonprofit. It's for profit, And Ron, like, can you give us like a little bit more of a little bit more understanding? You have to go like super financial literacy into it, but just give the people at home.
Hey, listen, man, I can't help it. I got a younger brother that's a CPA. You know what I mean?
Speak on it. Shout out to Brian Murray. Shout out
to B Murray.
Shout out to B Murray. Doing your thing out there.
But the nonprofit is just basically a structure of an organization that's kind of, how can I say this, recognized by the IRS. And who the IRS is basically Uncle Sam. What I want to talk about with us is nonprofit activity. We do a lot of nonprofit activity. And nonprofit activity is when you have an organization and you do things for a cause, and it's not about making a dollar. It's not about making a profit. Everything you do is simply for the cause. So like the cause of what we've been doing, giving away book bags, giving away school supplies, toys for tots. And I'm saying I've been doing this with my barber community for like the last 10 years. And every year, Twana, Landy, or different people have helped me make it a success, to where finally we have took and formed a nonprofit for the MLK Alumni Class of 1995. And the name of that nonprofit is MLK Class of 1995 Incorporated. And our function is to give out scholarships, to give out school supplies, toys for tots, to the shelter behind King, which we've been doing for the last 30 years. Just as a neighborhood. And remember we used to get the babies during Christmas time, and you and somebody else had a kid all day long. They didn't do it for the law charter, but I think it was for the other charters. We was in the law books. But nonetheless, we've been serving Stanton Family Manor Shelter since we were in high school, and that was almost 30 years ago. So now that we are structured as a nonprofit, we also have a 501c3 status. And what that means is, and I hope I said it right, the 501c3, because sometimes I get it confused, but nonetheless, what it means is when you make a donation, we can give you a receipt. And with that receipt, it's a tax deduction. And the reason why it's a tax deduction is because the IRS recognizes the MLK Class of 1995. The IRS recognizes what we do and why we do. That way, this organization is not about popularity or making money or doing all this. It's just simply about helping the community. So if you have somebody or a school or something, you're part of the MLK alumni, reach out to us. Let us know how we can help with your organization. Let us know how we can help with your charity. You know, I know certain people like certain alumni, I think they do like sock drives and different stuff. Some of our classmates, you know. So yeah, that's basically what the nonprofit is. And I definitely, it wouldn't even be possible without you guys. It would not be possible. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Earl Pugh, our treasurer. You know, KC, which is our secretary, who takes a very accurate notes on and keeps us up to par. And he was the quarterback for the class reunion when it almost fell offline. So shout out to Definitely K.
I think you know what, that was a group effort. That was a group effort.
And more importantly, we couldn't be nothing without the Queen, our Vice President, Atwana Harris.
To the Queen.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna let Atwana speak a little bit about this nonprofit because you know she's been a major part of it. Your mic, Atwana. Your mic.
Oh, Got it. I'm super excited to be a part of it. It's definitely a game changer for us. It allows us to step into a professional atmosphere and deal. I believe that this nonprofit will allow us to grow and expand way beyond Philadelphia and MLK, but possibly throughout all neighborhoods. A model for us young adults to go ahead and take foot and pass the torch to our younger folks, for us to be profitable, to be engraved into our community as a people, as a giver. You know, God likes a good giver. You know, and if anything, I promise you that, you know, it's not just about money, but karma is a mug. When you give, karma back. I've never, not one time, not been blessed since we started this. I've never been broke. I've never been blessed. I simply just get my blessings. And I'm going to tell you this, I feel like this nonprofit, it definitely has not only enriched my life, but others around me. So I thank everybody and anybody who wants to join us. You can reach out to any one of us to get involved into the situation. We are definitely looking for more people, especially more women. I'm surrounded by guys. Ladies, I need you. Let's come on and step up to definitely help our community and be a part of this nonprofit. It's definitely a joy to be a part of, and I'm excited about the work that we're going to do and what we've been doing. And with that being said, you know, I'm just going to wrap up tonight with the end of, you know, MLK class of 95. I enjoy being part of you. I hope that we can ignite a fire inside of every last one of you on our travels, on our goals for MLK class of 95 and to the world.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, you heard it live. MLK Alumni class of 1995 All-Star Podcast.
Season 2.
Queen, Atwana Harris, my man K Boogie KC. Before I leave, these last few words, stay tuned for our next episode. Stay tuned. We got a lot of good things coming. If you want to help participate with the movement, just reach out to us. We want to have more information. We're looking to do more things. Shout out to Earl Pugh, who couldn't make it. Any last words, K Boogie?
Nah, man. Just, you know, want to shout out, you know, to my family and everybody. You know who they are. You know, Dad, Kyle, Sam I Am, Trentron. Shout out to the AKAs up there, Delta Gamma Chapter, stand up. Shout out to El Boog, Z, everybody, the Deltas out there. You know, shout out to my man Ron the Barber and Atwana. You know,
you know what, cuz? Shout out to the class of 1995. Shout out to the alumni class of 1995.
That was a dope class, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was a pretty dope class.
All the alumni, you know what I mean? So stay tuned. Season 2, episode 1. It's a wrap. Get with y'all.
All right. Peace. That went pretty good. All right, done.